Hey everybody, welcome to Jittery-Jay Reacts. I'm Jittery-Jay, and today we're reacting to the uncensored version of Josh Wolf's Best Practical Joke Ever. This was requested by R. McLean. I believe you requested the full-on Scorched Earth version, but this was the only other version I found besides the 11. One was 11 minutes, and I think this one is almost a little over 21 minutes. So I figured this was the one that you wanted to see. But anyway, uh, let's see if we can't get a video past the content claims. God. Every one of the last 7 or 8 videos I've had to wait to schedule because of this bullshit. It gets aggravating. It's probably one of the reasons I've been in such a funk about recording and stuff. I've been having a hard time with it. That's why my videos are so spaced out recently. I have a bad, bad anniversary coming up mid-June, and it's the one that put me in the hospital last year, and it's got my mind going in 100 million different ways at once. So I am really looking forward to some comedy once again to try to focus myself a little bit. In the midst of this anniversary coming up, I've also had a bunch of different doctor's appointments, just general checkups. So far, so good. We'll say that. I said, "What's your general health like?" Poor. It stays that way. Uh, I told him if I told him how much pain I was actually in, they'd have me hospitalized. But anyway, let's get into this. Yeah, I'm in the mood to laugh. How about you guys?
My buddy asked me to throw him a bachelor party, right? And so there's a bunch of this that if you haven't seen it live, you haven't seen most of the worst things that happened to my friend. So he asked me to throw him a bachelor party. I said no. And I said no because I know me. And I know that if you ask me to do something seriously for you, I'm not gonna. Like as soon as he asked me, I was like, "Well, I'm gonna fuck him up. I'm gonna do something terrible to him, you know." And he's
Already, I can picture it too. Uh, yeah, that's the way I am. As I know me, that's you don't want me planning anything, especially nothing serious. Yeah, I can be serious at times, but I have a warped sense of humor. And yeah, one of the reasons why I picked this video to react to tonight is because I love practical jokes. And yeah, especially with my sense of humor, I don't, the more messed up, the better. But yeah, let me back this up just to her.
I'm gonna fuck him up. I'm gonna do something terrible to him, you know. And I said, "You don't want me to do this, dude.
That'd be me.
You just don't want me to. I'm gonna fuck up your day." And he goes, "Nah, man, you've been to Vegas more than any of us. Just plan the party and get the girl." And I said, "All right." So I did get him a girl for the end of the party. And one thing, by the way, that I haven't talked about is I did get him a girl. There was a girl in the hotel room waiting for him for the end. But when I told him, I go, "You got to go in that other room," he didn't trust me to go because I had just unleashed the fury on him. You know what I mean? So the lap dance went to somebody else. I was like, oh, I can't let it go to waste. I mean, shit, you know? So I said, all right, I'll get you the girl, man. But I wanted something that entertained me at the top of the store, at the top of the party. And what entertains me is weird shit, guys. I like weird shit. Weird shit makes me laugh. Where did I think I could find something weird for him? I went on Craigslist in Vegas.
The weirder the
I was
better.
just looking through it. And, oh, there's so many good, weird things on Craigslist. And I'm scrolling through, and I pass all the sex stuff, and I land on the weird. And the weird was 3 words and her phone number. And the advertisement just said, I'll wrestle ya. And I was like, fuck yeah, you will. That at least deserves a phone call, you know? So I call her on the phone. Now on the phone, she told me she was 6 foot 250. On the phone. And she told me that her skill set is she comes to your house, she gets naked, and she beats the shit out of you for a little while. Yeah, I was like, well, what time can you get here? And so she asked me, by the way, she did ask me, she goes, do you want me to send you a picture? I go, no, you painted a pretty good picture. I know who's coming over. You don't need to validate yourself. All you said is 6 foot 250, and after that it was like, wah, 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 wah. Right? Now, so she shows up at the hotel, and I'm the only one there. Now, here's the first thing my friend never wanted me to tell you. Ready for this? First thing he never wanted me to tell you is when I opened the door, 6 foot was real. 250, not real. She was deep into the 3s. Deep into the 3s. And I asked her, I go, hey, how come you didn't tell me you were over 250 pounds? And she said, well, I didn't want to scare you away. And I told her, I go, hey, just so you know, for the future of your business, anybody who's calling about 250 isn't scared of 300.
Right?
You could charge me extra is all I'm saying. But, I mean, you should be charging by the pound, but I'm not your manager, so... And so she was holding a foot-long sub and 24 buffalo wings. And she just waved them at me, and she goes, you got a room where I could go fuel up before the match? And I was like, first of all, fuck yes I do. Right in there, actually. And I said, second of all, you should know that the person you're wrestling today doesn't know there's going to be a match. I don't know if that changes your professional approach at all, but you should know, right? So she goes off into her room to eat, I'm assuming. And my buddy comes over, and he's sitting down on a stool, and I got him blindfolded. And here are a couple other things that he never wanted me to tell you. He's the squarest square I've ever met in my life. He's marrying his high school sweetheart. Aww. He's never seen another woman naked before. Guys, do you understand? This is only the second naked body he will ever have seen in his life. Oh, it's gonna fuck him up. I can't wait. You know what I mean? He sent me a text 2 weeks before the party that just said, do all boobs feel the same? And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait for this fucking party!
Oh, I feel sorry. I'm so sorry for this dude. Oh my goodness. That poor guy. I gotta take a breath. Oh, my stomach's starting to hurt. And we're only, 5 minutes? Jesus, only 5 minutes in. Yeah. And before anybody takes offense, I am not laughing about the fact that she's overweight. There's nothing wrong with that. The only thing I see wrong with it is health issues, but that's a personal thing. As far as I'm concerned, I myself am carrying quite a few extra pounds. So I'm not laughing at the fact that she's overweight, just the fact that it's not going to be what they're expecting. If you guess what I mean. As the unexpected will always catch you off guard. So yeah, I can definitely tell he's got my sense of humor. Um, this is good. Uh, I like this. This is really good.
Do all boobs feel the same? And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait for this fucking party! And he told me he was ready. And I said, cool. And I call her out. Now, none of my other friends knew what I had planned. So when she walked out of that room naked, collectively, they were like, what the fuck?
See? The unexpected
And
will
as
get
she
you
got
every
closer, I
time.
could see that she still had buffalo wing sauce. I was going to get her a napkin, but I was like, man, your face is so funny! So my buddy is sitting there. And here's the thing. He's not a big dude. He's 5'8", 140 if he's wearing a lot of fucking clothes. Like, he's a tiny dude, man. And he was so excited there was a naked woman standing in front of him. His hands were shaking. And he was like, I'm so excited. And I was like, me too. Hey guys, I just sit back and I was looking at him for a second. Both of them. My buddy, 5'8", 140, blindfolded, trembling like a leaf on a stool, standing in front of him, naked, 6 foot, deep into the threes. And I'm just looking at the two of them and I'm thinking to myself, this was a good purchase. Zero buyer's remorse on this purchase. Like, I am already 100%. I have 3 kids. This is already the best night of my fucking life. Like, but I've known this dude forever, man. So I lean into him. I go, man, I just want to make sure we're cool. I know you're married to your high school sweetheart and your life partner, but you got a naked woman standing in front of you. Do you want me to send her home? And he got serious. He goes, you better not. And I said, well, just remember you said that and let's get started, you know? And I take off his blindfold. And the only word he could get out of his mouth before she ripped him out of his chair was, why? Like that, right? And she yanked him up in the air and his little feet were dangling in the air. She started tossing him around the room like a rag doll, and I was like, that's what I'm fucking talking about. She would jump on top of him and he had to push her fat out of his face to talk to us. He was like, tell her to stop! How long is she gonna be here? I can't breathe! Why does she smell like buffalo wing sauce? Right? At one point in time, she had her knees on his elbows, pinning him down to the ground. And she was just beating him in the face with her titties. Just. And these aren't.
Sorry about that. Oh man, had to use my inhaler real quick. Got into a coughing fit. Laughing turned to coughing, which turned to not being able to get air out. So yeah, just stop that for a second. This is, oh my god, this is hilarious. Uh, oh, okay, my stomach's hurting, my face is hurting. Oh, this is hilarious.
Was just beating him in the face with her titties. Just. And these aren't 5'2", 110-pound, bing, bing titties. This is 6 foot. Deep into the threes. Just. That's how big her titties were. They made that noise through the air. Just. It was like being hit with a tit missile. Just. You know what it sounded like? It sounded like if you close your eyes, it sounded like a titty pterodactyl. Just. You know, like in the Rocky movies, when he get hit by a punch and his whole face would go, oh. One titty was like, ga ga ga. Right?
Oh my God.
So, look, if you've seen the video online, it cuts right now to me talking about her standing here and him standing here mad. So what he never let me tell you is why he was so mad. So I will tell you. So she stands up to take a rest. He's on his knees. Here's a couple things you need to know that have been happening all night that he obviously never wanted me to tell you. First of all, she's been undressing him the whole night. So at this point of the night, he's wearing boxers, one sock. Oh, it's been a rough night for my man. You know what I mean? It's not been a good time for him, you know? So, here's another thing. By the way, you have to know how much I love this woman. We all went out and got fucked up after the party. She was amazing. Guys, let me tell you how much of a gangster this woman was. One of my buddies got so drunk he couldn't walk out of the bar. She picked him up over the shoulder. Firemen carried him out of the fucking bar. And let me tell you why she was so good. You know how you're kind of bouncy when you're getting firemen carried, right? He's bouncing, and at one point he just looks up and she goes, he just looks up and goes, I think she just farted in my face, right? She didn't miss a beat. She just goes, that's right, bitch. Like that. Just walk. I was like, I love this woman, you know? But so, the other thing I really liked about her is that she was really passionate about her job. I like people who like what they do. And she paid attention to detail. Right. How did I know that? So her one sock, leaving that on, was important to her. That was...
That right there. No matter what industry, what product, what service, if the people serving you or making that product like what they're doing, that's when you'll get the best quality. People take pride in their occupations. I've worked with a few people like that, but yeah, not too many, unfortunately. Most of them just wanted to get done and get out. So, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just had that thought and had to get it out of there. Plus, it gives me a break to breathe. That's not my rescue inhaler. That's my trilogy. That's what's actually raised my lung function up from 60% last year to 70% this year. So, yeah, but I don't know what to do with my rescue at the moment. So, that'll have to wait. Anyway, it's slowly getting back to normal. So we'll get this going again. Yeah. Let me know if you guys have ever been to a party like this. I have quite a few times. Just like I said, warped sense of humor. And I tend to gravitate towards people who are the same way. And yep. Anyway.
How did I know that? So her one sock, leaving that on, was important to her. That was attention to detail. That was her way of telling him, hey, you don't get to decide shit tonight. Because he hated that one sock. He hated it because he could never get his footing. He always slipped when he tried to brace himself, right? So he hated it, so he kept taking it off and throwing it across the room. But every time he did, she would walk over and pick it up, sit on his chest, and put that motherfucker back on him like a bitch. Every time she did, there was a little tear that came to my eye. I'm like, I love you so much. Guys, he was head to toe sweat. She had been beating the shit out of him for 20 or 25 minutes. And I know a lot of people think that's hyperbole when I say it. It is not. She was noticeably bigger, more than twice his size. She was legitimately way stronger than him. And here's how you can tell someone is stronger than another human being. Because there were parts of the night, and this still makes me laugh when I think about it. There were parts of the night where she would... The visual is great. Where she would just grab him by the shoulders, and this is how you can tell she was stronger than him. She would just grab him by the shoulders and just fucking shake him. And his whole body just... You know, you know what he looked like? He looked like, you know those wind socks out in front of a tire store? That he looked like he didn't have any bones in his little body. She was just fucking him up, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, she's going to rearrange his organs. Like, he's in trouble, you know? He was breathing.
He was right. The visual is something else. Yeah. I've tried medicating this away, but lately that's not helping. So, why bother? Which is why I'm shaking more than normal. And why this side of my face keeps jacking backwards. The nerves twitching the muscle in there. Which it does that now and again. And other times that side of my face just doesn't work at all. So, it's all numb anyway, so it's numb from like here down, over here, and then back here. This whole side is numb from the nerve damage. Because there's no tissue on that side. That's why when I go like this side looks swollen now. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Again, another breath. Yes, this is
I was like, oh, she's gonna rearrange his organs. Like, he's in trouble, you know? He was breathing like this. Because every time she got him on the ground, she would smother him with her gigantic boobs, and I guess he couldn't breathe. Because when she moved her boobs, his head would pop up like this. Like he'd been underwater for 20 minutes, just... So she's standing here, she just fucked him up, and he goes to crawl off the floor. He didn't get up and walk, this dude has no energy for that. He's crawling off the floor. And she's standing on the other side of the room, and she gave him what I like to call 5 feet of hope. Because he really thought he was about to get away, you know what I mean? And she just took like 2 giant strides, grabbed him by the ankle, looked at all of us, and just went... She was so much stronger than him. Both of his legs popped up in the air, right? Bam! He landed on the ground, and she starts to slowly drag him back to the middle of the room. Guys, he doesn't want any part of the middle. The middle of the room is where the bad shit happens. You know what I mean? That is his sunken space. My man does not want any part of the middle of the room. You know what I mean? And he's grabbing at things, but she just keeps yanking him along. And by the way, when she was dragging him slowly like a caveman, she was eyeballing all of us. Yo, I was like, I'm kind of hard right now. Like, I'm scared and aroused at the same time. I don't know what's happening to me.
Oh my God.
She brings him back to the middle of the room. And you'll know why he never wanted me to tell the story. She brings him back to the middle of the room. She picks him up by the ankle with this hand. And with this hand, boing, checks the oil, finger in the asshole, right? A finger that we found out later still had buffalo wing sauce on it.
Oh my God. Oh, no. That is just so wrong. Oh my God. That is just so ate up. Oh, shoot. I can not only picture it, I can feel it. That's wrong. Just the burning sensation. Of course, I just had some jalapeno poppers, so that doesn't help. Anyway, back to this. And yeah, this is me not medicated. That's I can't sit still ever. Anyway, let's get back in. No, come on. Hello.
Yeah, that's why he was so mad. It makes a lot more sense now, right? Yo, my man snapped. He was just sitting there, and you know when you've seen your buddy snap, they just go dead face? He was just like... And he just looks at her and he goes, I'm gonna fuck you up. She wasn't even nervous. She wasn't scared. She just been beating this little dude up for almost a half an hour, you know what I mean? She just had digitally raped him. She's got no problems with this dude, you know? And he makes the threat and she just goes... And he runs right at him and screams at the top of his lungs, I'm gonna take you down! Right? And he takes off and just starts sprinting. She's just kind of standing there, and he ran into her with everything he had. And, by the way, great form tackle. Head up, shoulder in. It made that loud slap because they were both shirtless, you know. It was amazing. And he hit her hard. He tried to take her down. And I'm going to tell you something right now. He did not. It happened exactly the way all of you were picturing it happen. Because when his little body hit hers, she just absorbed him for a second, you know? He even disappeared. I was like, hey, where the fuck did he go? And then she just, boom, shot him out of her belly. Just, boom. And he slid on the floor, and my friend ran up to him and was like, that just fucking happened to you! And I turned to her to let her go home. Guys, she starts dancing like this. And I'm like, oh, the night's not over? Okay. She told me later, the night would have been over, but he challenged me. Nobody challenges me. And I was like, oh, shit. So she's standing there, and she goes, you want to see my finishing move? You want me to finish him? And I was like... If I had known the finishing move was on the menu, I'd have ordered that motherfucker at the beginning of the party. Are you kidding? You got a finishing move? Let's see that, right? So she's standing next to him. She goes, finishing move? And we go, yeah. She goes, you want to see that finishing move? And we go, yeah. She goes, finishing move? And we go, yeah. And then she just sat on his head, and we went, no! Guys, this dude's head disappeared. All you could see were his tiny arms slapping her back. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Oh my god, he had to do that, didn't he? Now I can picture it. Oh. Oh my goodness. I'm picturing like those old cartoons with Popeye and Bluto and all that. But that was, oh god. Oh man, he's giving my lungs a workout tonight. This is just hilarious. My goodness. Take a breather just for a second. Let me get back in.
It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. It was like a reverse birth. It was fucked up, right? Now,
A reverse birth.
a couple other things. So I run into his dad. And by the way, this is when you know you pulled a good practical joke. Good practical jokes are any jokes that continue to pay dividends for you
Right.
long after your joke is over. So I run into his dad about a month and a half after the party, 2 weeks before the wedding. And he goes to me, he goes, hey, you're not coming to the wedding? I was uninvited to the wedding, by the way. Totally worth it. So I would trade a friend today for a story like that. Fuck him. I got to show you how he uninvited me. This is my favorite part of the story. This is my favorite part of the story. This is how he invited me. We're still at the party. She had just gotten off of him. And he was mad. And he stands up and he goes, you're not coming to the wedding! Yeah. I'm good now. Coming out Atlantic. All right. Okay, I'm going to tell you something else. And this never gets told. All right. So he developed a nickname that night. I'm part of being a storyteller is answering your own fucking questions. So if you shut up for a second, I will get into it. Thanks. I know you're annoying me from up here. I can only imagine what's happening to the people you're sitting.
That's how you answer a heckler. That sounds like something that what's his name, Bill Burr would say. Uh, I know you're annoying me from up here. I can only imagine the people you're sitting with. That is, yeah, that's about right. Oh boy.
I know you're annoying me from up here. I can only imagine what's happening to the people you're sitting next to. But if it was earlier in the show, I'd address it. But I'm like, well, I'm going to be out of here in 10 minutes, so she'll just annoy those people too. Okay. So this is the nickname. Okay. So he gets up and he's walking out of the living room to go into the bathroom to hang himself, I'm assuming. And I have a friend of mine who was there, and he's one of the darkest. He has one of the darkest sense of humor, which is one of the reasons that I think, he's one of my dear friends. And but he was sitting there.
That's what I said. We gravitate towards each other. It's just something about having that dark sense of humor that like kind of attracts other people with the same mentality. It's kind of like when you're depressed, you'll listen to. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's my alarm for my medication. I will take it after the video. What was I saying? Oh, it's like when you're depressed, you'll gravitate towards depressing songs and music and stuff like that. The same as when you're happy, when you're happy or feeling upbeat, you'll gravitate towards music of the same nature. Upbeat and happy music. Humor is the same way. Yeah, different senses of different types of sense, different types of sense of humor. Like some people have a dark sense of humor, some people not quite so much. Um, those kind of people kind of gravitate towards each other, and it's shit. Uh, it's one of my best friends. Is like that. My wife. Course. I made her that way. But anyway, let's finish this up.
Reasons that I think, he's one of my dear friends. And but he was sitting there, and I knew he had something up his sleeve because he got a little smile on his face when my buddy was walking up to him. So my buddy's walking up to him, and this is the nickname he got. He goes, "Damn, man, you look like a glazed donut." So I wasn't invited to the wedding, but I made all the groomsmen glazed donut t-shirts, right? And when he was walking down the aisle, they all just gave him a "what's up," right? And then his mom, the week after the wedding, called me and was like, "Do you have any extra of those cute glazed donut t-shirts?" She goes, "I love glazed donuts." I'm like, "Yeah, so does your son." I got her one for every day of the week. My buddy called me, he was like, "My mom loves that fucking t-shirt, man." But anyways, His dad goes, "You not coming to the wedding?" I go, "Nah." And he said, "Why not?" And I said, "Oh, Tim didn't tell you?" And he goes, "No. Is there a story?" And I go, "Do you have a couple minutes? Sit down, sit down." And then his dad used that story as his best man speech at the wedding. And I asked him, I go, "Hey, why would you do that to your son?" And he goes, "Tim shouldn't have been such a pussy."
Oh my god. Oh yeah. Alright, there's his again, that was Josh Wolf. Best practical joke ever. Uh yeah, the title fits. That's like you said, you don't ask somebody with a dark sense of humor to plan anything. Um, because we will look for ways to get that joke in there, no matter what it is, no matter what way it is. And it's the darker the humor, the better. Um, but yeah, this was great. I definitely needed this laugh, even though it's got me short of breath. It's well worth it. This was hilarious. Let me know what else to look for from him, from Josh, uh, down in the comments. Let me know what you thought of this, uh, and what kind of sense of humor you have. Anyway, if you enjoyed watching this with me, make sure to head over and hit Josh with a like and subscribe. I have already done the subscribe. There's the like. Um, anyway, and if you enjoyed watching this with me, if you would hit me with a like and subscribe and leave a comment, let me know what you thought. It all helps with the algorithm and it helps. I see it in my analytics, so it lets me know that you want more of this content. But that's going to do it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed watching this with me, and I hope to see you on the next one. Love you guys. Peace.